Hello, patrons. We are here for Season 5, Episode 10 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. If you don't know, or if you're watching this from the far distant future, it has been about 9 months since I've last seen Season 5 of She-Ra, but I did binge watch through it recently, Episode 1 to 9. This is being Episode 10, so, of course I didn't watch this episode yet. So I do know a little bit about season 5. You want to see the binge watching? I did upload that as well. That one is picture in picture, but everything, the rest of the series it's timer based, so you're gonna still have to sync it up with the footage. So again, I do know a little bit about season 5. Do not ask me anything about season 1 to 4 because God knows if I remember it or not. Especially like the very small, minute details and stuff. I don't know, especially season 4. I kind of just erased season 4 from my mind. Whatever. Anyways, here we are. Feels a little weird getting back into She-Ra, but I do think that it was a good idea for me to binge watch it and also record myself doing the binge watch just so I can get a little bit into the recording stuff. In terms of me talking and rambling, I haven't stopped that. I started a gaming channel. I'm currently playing Persona 5 Royal right now, and all I ever do in that game is yap. All right, so I'm still on it for the yapping. I just haven't been on camera for the past 9-10 months. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird having to keep my eyes on like the camera again. But here we are with She-Ra, season 5, episode 10, and we are going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, if I actually put my audio in the right place. Alright. I couldn't hear anything for a second there. Feels weird to be standing and watching again. Wow. Uh-huh. Oh. Wow. 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 Well, I mean, a weakness is a weakness, so. Wow. I mean, you can't. Water as a cat? Well, at least that's one person with a weakness to water. This is a very weird and awkward angle for me to fucking write down timestamps. I'm over here like having to fucking reach. This stupid mic is in the way. Oh, it's because of the fucking camera angle. That's why this mic is in the way. Oh, in in the fright zone. Okay. Remember, is this her home? Oh, programming. It's Scorpia. Oh shit. Oh shit. True friend? Uh-oh. Yeah, so Bo was looking at something. He got distracted. Is it something having to do with his dad? Dad's, I mean? There's a giant red dot. Well, come on, Bo. We gotta have a B plot somehow. Exactly. Y'all can have your own B plot in this episode. Oh. For a second there, I was like, they have space cars, but no, those are the drones. Coming back home. Oh. Mealog. That's I just remembered the name of the cat. Just a bunch of broken Emilys, dude. Perfuma still has faith in Scorpia. Scorpia's about to. Well, welcome to the team. Damn, look out. She's just standing there, menacingly. She's waiting for you. Well, it doesn't really matter or not. You just need a you need to get a little plant and whip her in the back of the head. Eee! Well, there goes Catra. Damn, dude, Catra got punted. Okay. You're not wrong. Oh, your dad might already be chipped. Damn, this whole place, You know, if there's one thing y'all shouldn't be doing, it's separating in case y'all get chipped. They're dads. What? How? Forbo. Wow. They're in the. Wow. Very dad, dude. Leaving him a note. It's just a dad joke. Mermista. Uh-oh. Well, you know, water and electricity is a good combination. We gotta release her chi. Like a dog, dude. What the? Wow, she's throwing them back at us! If you just... Okay, wrap her up then! Yeah, fuck your flowers. I don't know why. I thought she was gonna use the flowers, the vines to, like, transmit electricity over to Perfuma. Oh. Wow, everybody's here. Well, another person separated. Oh. Damn, dude, could have sniped your son. Puns right now. Yeah, they're fighting in their own way. We know that they're not chipped because they're making dad puns. Prime couldn't do this shit. Oh. Goddamn, dude. Catra's really, or Milong's really going after her neck. It's like going even deeper, it feels like. Catra's weakness! Water! Oh my god, It just clicked in my head. Yeah, now we gotta go beat up Scorpia so we can save her, and then you can go beat the shit out of Horde Prime. Wow, you guys are right next to her gem. Alright, Perfuma. You're gonna need to hurt Scorpia or else she's gonna hurt She-Ra. She lost signal. Yeah, go to a better place for connection. Wow, isn't this the throne for Hordak, but now it's Horde Prime? Well, he did say he's coming down here. Well, you know, Perfuma, maybe you could also kick his ass while you're at it. Oh. She just teleport? What the hell? She had a power of well, it might be, Oh my god, she could have done that as well! What the hell? Oh, that could have, like, cut her chin. What the hell? Just need a little update. Sure, it just broke down, like, one option. I know that you have another option, but, like, gotta keep them all open, you know? Actually, I don't know why that chip he broke. This is a different one. Friend of Mara? Oh. Rebel Squadron Grayskull. Oh, they're having a rather intense fight right now. Well, Perfuma, you gotta understand that it's a double-sided sword. All right, it can be good or bad. Oh shit! He's tired of this friendship shit. Damn, Perfuma's really hitting her with the power of friendship out here. Damn, she's hitting her. I was gonna say she's gonna hit herself in the back of the head, is what I thought. Hmm. She was staring at the flower. Oh, her, Ooh, my god, right on her injured ankle. Well, at least we got someone. Alright, bring her to entrap her, quickly! Oh, just straight to meditation. Mm-hmm. A little optimism goes along the way, you know, Catra. A little too much with Perfuma, but... Oh, guided. Alright, we'll start on your abandonment issue. Well, once we figure out what... Oh, well, after we went to the fright zone, we're gonna head over to Mystacor. Alright. Hey, I know we've been out of space for a while, but since we're back, let's go to all the, let's go to all the places that were, significant. So that also means we're going to see, what the hell is his name? I've just forgotten his name. Glimmer's dad, you know, whatever his name is. That reminds me, where the hell is Double Trouble? I guess they just went, they just fucked off elsewhere after they got saved? I don't know. I asked that question, but like, the show doesn't need the answer. You know what? I haven't seen Kyle and Rogelio and Lonnie either. I would presume they are chipped if they've been here in the fright zone and all that. But I guess we will just have to see. I mean, I would assume maybe they'll probably make a short little appearance somewhere in the next 3 episodes. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna write my notes and we'll be right back. I'll be right back. Anyways. Anywho. Alright, so that was Season 5, Episode 10 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. I gotta say, I have not done that intro into the discussion for a while, and I still remember it. So, anyways, good stuff this episode. It kind of, we're fighting back, as what Adora says in the last episode somewhere, like, the war's just begun and all that. So, they've been on the defensive, they've been on their heel this whole time, and so now they are coming to at least, take back some of the Chip Princess, to which they did in this episode, one of them anyways, and also, Horde Prime is now on Etheria as well, because, he's a little upset, these princesses are just bungling with him, and he is upset. Again, this man, he says emotion is a weakness, and yet he's so fucking angry, so... typical of people like him, am I right? Okay. So, I'm kind of going to just go through my notes. So, that's where we're going right now. So, Natasha in the beginning, makes mention about how she basically knows everyone's weakness, whether that is just an elemental thing or it's just like a really personal thing. And I love that a good chunk of them are weak to fire. Like, Mermista is weak to fire, Frosta is weak to fire, which is very understandable. Who else is weak to fire? I currently can't remember. Hold on. Let's see. Entrapta's weakness is tech. Alright, so Mermista is fire. Frosta is also fire. Adora can't act to save her life. And also extreme hair envy with She-Ra. Dude, like, she's really out here going into their psychological profiles, too. Oh man, that's so good. Glimmer, crippling self-doubts mixed with overwhelming hubris. Like, goddamn, dude. You know what? Why wasn't Natasha around as much in, like, the last season, I just needed someone like Natasha who could just give them a psychological profile, their psychological profile. It just really fucking hit them right in their fucking gut, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, whoa, that's, like, really personal compared to fire. Oh! Perfuma. She's also weak to fire. I forgot, because she's a plant girl and all that jazz. So yeah, Perfuma is fire, and an inability to unleash your full power because you are afraid of, due to your overwhelming fear of hurting the people you care about. I love that she has, like, all the pictures just drawn. Some might say that's actually a positive quality. God, dude, that never-ending... Well, actually, sometimes it's kind of ending, but for Perfuma, usually never-ending optimism, right? The way she just twists that, like, oh, that might actually be a positive quality because, I'm not actually out here hurting my friends. But at the same time, if you're not using your full power and you're not, you're not fighting with your full power, you end up leaving a lot more gaps for the enemy to come in through and potentially hurt your friends. And, it kind of feels like maybe at some point for Perfuma, if the enemies hurt her friends, it might be a little bit better than her hurting her friends. And I understand that thought. I understand that thought point, but again, it kind of you can kind of twist it and think about like, oh, so you're fine with the enemies hurting your friends, but you don't want to hurt your friends. And if we go into that argument, it's just like, no, I don't want people to hurt my friends. Well, then why aren't you fighting with your full power? Why aren't you protecting your friends? Well, it's because you have an overwhelming fear of you have an overwhelming fear of hurting your friends, which in the end hurts your friends. Anyways, let's get off of that train of thought. Well, actually, we'll probably hop back on it in a bit. I do very much enjoy this part where Catra's just like, yeah, I get it. Princesses are, they're weak and all that. I've fiddled with them for a while. You don't have anything on real threats like me. I am a real threat. And then immediately, Natasha just tosses water at her and immediately catches her. I do enjoy that they show that Catra's weakness is water because she's a cat, and then she ends up fighting Mermista, who literally controls water. I do find it very interesting that they say Mermista's weakness is fire, but then in the picture that Natasha shows is, God, wait, I suddenly forgot what his name is. Seahawk. There you go. Yeah, they also show Seahawk, because Seahawk sets things on fire. And then when in the episode with the Prince Peekaboo, Mermista mentions that she set somebody's I keep wanting to say ship. Set somebody's ship on fire because she wanted to know how it feels like. So I'm like, is her weakness fire or Seahawk? Because like you would think that her weakness would be her weakness would be electricity or something, considering that if she controls water. I don't know, but also I feel like Scorpia's red lightning is like different from regular lightning. Alright, I'm gonna head off of that train of thought. So Catra and Perfuma did get into a bit of a scuffle because of Scorpia, Perfuma is now BFF with Scorpia, I guess, especially after Scorpia decided, after the whole, like, Peekaboo stuff. I thought the whole interaction between Perfuma and Scorpia then was really nice. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked that Perfuma was giving Scorpia encouragement at the time. But I guess, Perfuma and Scorpia are now BFFs, and she is, like, this friend who comes up to the other person who hasn't been a good friend to the friend that you're having a good relationship with, and Perfuma is just out here saying what's on her mind, she's just like, Scorpia now knows the kindness of a true friend. Inadvertently, Perfuma says, you have been a bad friend to Scorpia, which Scorpia has already said that to Catra, so, we're really out here just rubbing salt in the wound on Catra. But hey, who knows? Maybe Catra needs to hear that because she needs to remember. She has a lot of things that she needs to fix. Her anger issues, her abandonment issue, her not being a good friend issue. A lot of things. Her negativity. Her. I was gonna say pessimism, but pessimism to some degree is not bad, but there's a balance between that. Kind of like, I do feel like, now I think about it, Perfuma and Catra are kind of like on the opposite ends in terms of pessimism and then optimism. I do like that Catra ends up telling Perfuma somewhere along of thank you for being a good friend, being the kind of person that I couldn't be for Scorpia at the time. Scorpia is really lucky to have a friend like you. Yes, that's what Catra says. I mean, I suppose, I think the whole thing with Scorpia coming over to the princess's side has just overall been a really good thing for her because that is literally the place that she belongs. Her, especially with her demeanor, and she just fits this area so much more than the Horde, and especially with, like, the Horde having taken over her family, or her family giving up in order to, basically survive under the Horde and all that, so she's been living under the Horde propaganda, and anyways, I'm kind of saying all of these, like, old plot points, because I'm also trying to remember. It's been a while since I've watched this series. I will say, sort of like the snark that was going on between these two. Even before Catra said, she's lucky to have a friend like you. So Catra was trying to, I don't know, she came up to Perfuma, and I'm just over thinking, like, well, maybe she wants to make a conversation with her, and the only way that she knows how to make a conversation is starting up with this plot point, which is, oh, I heard Scorpia dropped the beam on you. And then Perfuma says Scorpia missed. She missed on purpose. And so Catra's like, how do you know? You're not in Scorpia's head. How the fuck do you know that? Perfuma says, I know because I believe in Scorpia. And, I don't know, a little snark right here from Perfuma, like, wow, that snark right there. I hope you're right. Which, you know what, good on Catra for being like, yeah, I hope that she actually did do it on purpose, and I guess as we've learned after Horde Prime sees what happened, right, he figured that, yeah, Scorpia did allow them to let them go, so we, as the audience, know. The princesses, they don't know yet, at least for Perfuma and everybody else. They don't know, but they're hoping that she does. Anyways, before I continue on with the whole Perfuma stuff, I do want to talk about the B plot, which is Bow and Glimmer going to find Bow's dad, which in turns takes them to the ruins of the first ones. So Bow's dads, George and Lance, if I wrote those names correctly, they found secrets to the first ones. Also, they were telling Bow that, hey, you've taught us that we should be fighting for what we care about and whatnot instead of hiding everything. So this is how we fight in our own ways. And so they found secrets that was hidden inside the first one text, because apparently Mara had a rebel group, the Squadron Grayskull, so Rebel Squadron Grayskull, and so because of Mara and those, they found the failsafe, but unfortunately they couldn't turn it on in time, and so, these people kind of got wiped out, and so they left a message to let these people, let the next people know that, hey, there is actually a failsafe that will destroy the heart for good, so nobody will be able to use this freaking planet-sized cannon that's gonna blow up the whole universe, I guess. They keep talking about how it's gonna wipe everybody, and I'm like, how big is this fucking cannon? Like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're gonna wipe everything out? Goodness gracious. But there's a failsafe. It's at some place called Arnexia or whatever it was. I know it started with an A and all that jazz, but we will find more about it in the next 3 episodes. So that's pretty much the B-side story. It's just to tell us, oh yeah, the heart. Because the last 2 episodes it's called The Heart Part 1 and 2. So there's a lot of Perfuma in this episode, which is why I had to take a bit of a break before I go back to talking about her. But she's been going on about how Scorpia's our friend. She refuses to let people hurt Scorpia, specifically Shira, right? Adora / Shira is out here trying to fight back against Scorpia, but Perfuma keeps on telling her, like, don't hurt her, you can't throw a tank at her, you don't throw tanks at friends, so it's, in terms of, like, fighting and all that, annoying, but it goes to what Natasha said, where Perfuma could be the most powerful princess, but she is just being held back by her overwhelming fear of hurting her friends. To which, that is a double-edged sword. Despite Perfuma saying that might be one of my good qualities, it is a double-edged sword. But because of Perfuma, they kept running around until they finally end back up to where I believe where Hordax's old throne was, and now Horde Prime has taken over. That reminds me, Hordak is technically now on this planet, so I'm hoping we get to see him, see Entrapta again, so that will be nice as well. Horde Prime, he tells them that now that he's actually here on this planet, he's like, this place feels kind of familiar. The tech here is so outdated, but it's familiar, and he'll be able to figure it out eventually, so because of that, he now has a way to activate the heart without the princesses, so he really has no need for Shira anymore, get the fuck out of here, who cares about y'all, not even gonna put a chip in them. He was just gonna eliminate them. Or maybe just knock him out, and then put a chip on him, but, whatever, Horde Prime continues on with what he, with it, like, his whole spiel. that we've been seeing throughout this season is that Ethereans and emotions, bah, friendship, bah, those are all weaknesses. But Perfuma is like the perfect person, I suppose, to be with to be standing right in front of Horde Prime as he says that, because she's all about motherfucking friendship and love. And so when she hears Horde Prime talking about how her friendship is a weakness, she's like, no, 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 no. My friendship is not my weakness. It is my strength. I suppose, she's like the thesis and he's the antithesis. In terms of, is friendship a weakness? But again, it's a freaking double-edged sword. You can have, it's like a person with a tender heart, right? They can be really, really fucking strong when the moment calls for it, when they feel like their friends are hurt and they have to stand up to protect them. But if they're not in those moments, they could be a little bit too shy, a little bit too scared, so I shouldn't have said shy first, but they're gonna shy away from those situations. But in moments where you really need them, they would end up, becoming a hero, a person who saves others. So that is a sort of a person with a tender heart. And so, like, that's a double-edged sword. And I would say that's kind of where Perfuma would be, a person with a tender heart, afraid of hurting her friends, but eventually, again, double-edged sword. If she holds back because she doesn't want to hurt her friends by accident with her power, her overwhelming plant power, while her friends are gonna get hurt eventually because she isn't holding back, and because they get hurt eventually, inevitably, not even inevitably get hurt, Perfuma's gonna end up going all out, or, she's gonna go on a bit of a rampage because how fucking dare you? How dare you hurt my friends? But you know what? Perfuma's been telling Scorpia this whole time that she needs to remember that they're friends, believe in herself or whatever. And as we saw, Scorpia allowed Perfuma and Adora to go, and Perfuma feels like there was good in Scorpia's heart, and that's why she did it. She has hope in it. Good for her. I feel like I hope my talking point wasn't redundant, but I definitely feel like it is a little redundant with me just talking about the power of friendship. On a real note, by the way, if anybody ever fucking tells you that being vulnerable, which is also something that Scorpia says, right? Being vulnerable can open, it's hard to open up and be vulnerable, because the idea of vulnerability is, well, people can hurt you, and that is a very scary thing. But you've gotta let people in order to understand, or to have love and friendship. And so, real talk, if anybody goes and tells you that being vulnerable is weak, that you shouldn't be crying, you shouldn't open up to others, you shouldn't have feelings or whatever, whatever the fuck Horde Prime says, I just gotta let you know, I'm not gonna tell you that it's a fucking strength or whatever. It is a double-sided sword. You are going to get hurt if you open yourself up to others. There will always be people who are going to take advantage of you if you open up to them. And I guess my whole thing is that sometimes you've gotta learn to open up, because even if you end up getting hurt, because you'll never know, you will end up finding either the person who you're going to be with for the rest of your life, or you're gonna find some very deep and meaningful friendships with other people who are willing to open themselves up to you in hopes that you don't take advantage of their weakness. Like, we all have that whole feeling of like, well, I hope you're not gonna use what I said about my fucking family against me, or use that as a gossip and gossip to your friend group or whatever. We all have that feeling, and you just gotta understand that those people share the same feeling as you. That feeling of, well, I hope you don't fucking hurt me if I open my heart out to you. Anyways, that talk is over. On the good side, I think I did say they're out here getting the chip princess and all that, but on the good side, Spinnerella is now she's been caught. Natasha caught Spinnerella. She did exactly what she said. Yeah, Natasha did exactly what she said Spinnerella's weakness was, which is her ankle, her poor ankle. Also, I think she mentioned that she hurt her ankle as a child. Does that mean they were childhood friends and now they're married? Very nice. I'll have to check in a bit. But I believe she said her weakness, Natasha, she says her weakness is not being able to let Spinnerella go. I believe that's what she said. I'm never letting you go because Spinny, you're my weakness. Yes, that is correct. She is unable to let Spinnerella go, and that's why she keeps chasing after her. So, huzzah! We've got one princess back. We're gonna bring her straight onto the operating table of Entrapta. we're gonna do a little precision surgery on her and all that jazz. So that will be. I assume they probably won't show it because they already showed us for Catra. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of I'm sorry and all that jazz. Oh, I forgot to write in my notes, which is like all the way at the end, where Castaspella and Shadow Weaver arrives, and they apparently they know where Arxia or whatever that thing is. It's either in Mysticor or they need to go to Mysticor in order to find secrets or items or history tomes about it. Either one of the two, who knows? Well, Shadow Weaver is here, and Catra and Adora are here, so that's fun. Honestly, I'd rather see the drama between Shadow Weaver and Catra and Adora than the drama between Glimmer and Bo and Adora. I don't know. I just like that. I like the Shadow Weaver drama more than I like the Glimmer drama. Anyways, we're heading over to Mysticor, and that means we are going to see Glimmer's dad, whose name I still currently can't remember right now. Micah. I think that's his name. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna go see Micah. Hopefully, we're gonna get him unchipped, and all that jazz. So, they usually do a B-side plot. So I do wonder if I don't know. I'm still kind of waiting for Hordak. I'm still waiting for the whole Hordak and Entrapta thing. I'm waiting for it, man. I love the relationship and I need it in my life, all right? we didn't get to see wrong Hordak in this episode. I'm running, and the only horde we get to see was Horde Prime, and I have no time for that, man. All right, give me Hordak or give me wrong Hordak. No Horde Prime. I don't want this premium shit. Anyways. Fun episode. Again, this is the We Fight Back episode after being on the defensive for a while and feeling like we're getting close to losing it, losing the war. But the war has just begun, so yeah, very enjoyable. And that's it. Goodbye.